So the solution, you're looking at concerns with regards to the Companies Act. So ineligibility of the director that is a juristic company. You've got a mark for the theory and a mark for the application. Standards of directors, so their conduct. Marks for theory, they must act in the best interest. Gal did not by not disclosing her interest. A director needs to keep information confidential, not use the position of director to gain advantage or to cause harm. Gal has done so by sharing confidential information. And then the liability of the directors. In terms of king, the composition of your board, so your governing body, the chair is not independent non-executive, there's no lead independent non-executive, and your composition of your non-executives, they should be majority independent, they are not. Okay, and then in terms of king, directors have to submit their interest, Gal has not. The non-executive, being independent, Gal is no longer independent because of that interest. Okay, members' conduct. You've got to disclose your interest, avoid conflict of interest, act in the best interest. By not disclosing, by using that information, they're not acting in the best interest. And then compliance with laws and regulations. Your substantive procedures addresses financial assistance first, so literally went and took out the requirements of section 45 and tested them, inspecting that the MRI allows for financial assistance, and then going inquire about the terms being adhered to, inspecting the minutes, and then getting that resolution, seeing that it was approved, and in that making sure that there was the special resolution or the employee share scheme. Okay, making sure it was in the 2 years. Then testing solvency and liquidity. So going and doing the comparisons and testing whether the terms are fair, comparing them to the market. Was notice given post that? The financial assistance, going and looking and seeing that there was a resolution for the contract, and then going and inspecting that the disclosure of his interest was made, and prior to the meeting, notice about his interest was made, and in the meeting that it was disclosed, he left the meeting, did not take part, and if he didn't do that, an ordinary or court order was passed for authorization. Guys, in terms of the solution here, it's set out a little bit different from usual. This came out of a RTC solution. So this is how they would give you marks in terms of RTC. So there are a little bit more marks for actually explaining the types of threats. Okay, so you can see first showing that there is a CASA, so they have to deal with part 2 in business. And we've got self-interest or intimidation threat to the fundamental principles because of the presentation and preparing of information. Then some theory for how it should be done. So that's to now prove that it was not done or was requested to not be done in accordance with this, therefore showing the non-compliance. Okay, and then they just go and explain a little bit more why there's self-interest and why there's intimidation. And then what do you need to do as the CA? Discuss, consult with a professional body, refuse to remain associated, and consider resigning. So straight out of section 220. And then per 260, now there is non-compliance with laws and regulations, so this could create self-interest, intimidation, threats. What are you going to do? Understand the matter, discuss it with a superior, and then further action, disclose or resign, so that you are not associated with that unlawful information. Alright guys, all the best for your test, and I'll see you when we start to do some revision for your exams.